so typically I try and recommend 3 different wines at varying price points and be able to talk about slightly different nuances in the flavor profile. As a sommelier, you're expected to do every position in the restaurant, first of all.
Okay.
So I don't just sell wine. I'll take tables if I need to take tables. I run food, seat guests, help make drinks behind the bar, really whatever has to happen. But my main primary role is to assist guests with beverage selections. So
when do you go there? Like, if they have a question, only then you go there, or you normally?
I approach any table that has a wine list open, and I introduce myself and let them know my name's Lindsey. I'm the sommelier here, and I just wanted to stop by and say hello, introduce myself, and let you know that I'm here if you have any questions. And then I'll sometimes they want to talk right away.
What kind of questions they have? Let's walk over a couple of scenarios. Like, I'm still thinking, or what? I'm sure they don't say the word budget in here.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm feeling like, old world today. What kind of questions do they ask?
I get all sorts of questions. Some people, the list can be intimidating to some people. So, sometimes it's just, we want a red wine.
Okay. And then what's your next answer to that?
So from there, it's just a matter of finding out what they really like to drink is how I usually like to start the conversation. To kind of narrow it down in order to be able to...
Would you mind walking me over on what questions do you ask to narrow it down?
Sure, absolutely. So if I get something as vague as we're looking for a red wine, I'll say, what do you typically like to drink? And from there, I can generally get a sense of if they like something that's more fruit forward, kind of New World style, so California wines, or if they tend to like something that's more earth driven, in which I might start recommending some French or Italian wines. From there, I try and ask them if they're looking for something more light-bodied or more full-bodied. And then it's often a discussion of what they're going to be enjoying with their meal and trying to pair something based on the preferences that they've told me about. And then
do you end up just giving one option? I mean, if I was, let's say, if I was in that position, I would normally do like, John, here's this cab and here's another cab which I would recommend. One would be, let's say, $40 a bottle, and one maybe $120.
Exactly.
So then at least they're comfortable in select. How would you approach?
Exactly. So it's about giving them multiple options, not trying to pigeonhole them into something really expensive. You want to gain their trust. And it's about just providing the best experience you can have, not about selling them the most expensive bottle. So I typically will give probably 3 different suggestions because you want to give them some options, but you don't want to overwhelm them.
Understood.
And so typically I try and recommend 3 different wines at varying price points and be able to talk about slightly different nuances in the flavor profile.
What happens exactly after, let's say, okay, well, Lindsey, we'll go with this. And then exactly walk me over what happens. You go back and then,
Sure, yeah, so at that point, I'll confirm the wine with them, ask them if I can remove the wine list, and then I will go to the cellar and retrieve the bottle and present it to the guest. And once I presented it, we have these wine stations both here and upstairs on our balcony floor. And as a sommelier, I open the bottle and decant it depending on whether or not it needs to be decanted, but always taste it to proof it to make sure that it's sound, because we don't want to serve our guests something that's not in proper condition. And once I've proofed it, then someone at that point should have marked the table with the proper glassware for the wine.
How does that happen?
So typically it's I will let the captain of the table know. So
you punch in a system, or you manually will say behind the scene?
I will typically verbal to the captain what wine has been ordered or just what glassware
Got it.
I need. And either they will mark the proper glassware or they will ask the back waiter to do so.
So before you are picking, someone else will come here, because the moment you went and you just told them that this is a glassware I need, for example.
Yeah.
Okay.
So typically by the time I get back to the table, the glassware should be ready to go when I present it. So after I proof it, I return, pour the guest a taste of wine, walk around clockwise.
So till from that selection process to pouring, you handle the process.
Correct.
You pour them, right?
Yes.
Got it.